Audra Stafford here aboard the Disney Dream to give you a behind-the-scenes look at their brand new production of Beauty and the Beast. Coming up, the number that'll really leave you wanting more.
Hello everyone, I'm Heather Dawson, and it's a pleasure bringing you the best of California every week on our show. It's a fresh twist on a tale as old as time. California Life's Audra Stafford takes us behind the scenes of Disney Cruise Line's brand new stage adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
It's a story we all know and love. Reimagined for audiences aboard the Disney Dream.
The Disney Cruise Line version really does reflect the new live-action film, but we also have the original animated, the Broadway production, the scores from all of those. So it was an exciting process to work with everyone when you have so much to draw from.
Bonjour!
Bonjour!
Bonjour! Bonjour!
The process of taking this show from page to stage took about 2 years for writer Sarah Wordsworth and the rest of the creative team.
We actually started when the film was still in production.
Good morning, Belle.
They not only had to adapt the script,
I would think about what are the iconic visual moments, what are the iconic lines.
they also had to find a way to capture the rich look of the film without a lot of bulky backdrops and set pieces. Because this is one of 3 shows on the ship, all of those sets, all of that stuff has to fit in a small space along with all the stuff from the other shows. How do you make that work?
It's a really unique challenge because this whole thing has to set up and go away in a matter of about an hour.
We knew we wanted to use a lot of video on the show, but we really didn't want it to feel like actors in front of a movie screen. So then the next phase in that was to really make it feel as theatrical as possible while still using as much video.
While they were busy figuring all of that out, the talented cast was busy perfecting the show's big song and dance numbers at the Disney Cruise Line rehearsal facility in Toronto. Like Gaston. And be our guest.
Connor Gallagher, the original director-choreographer of this show, wanted to really inspire everyone by taking us through all the courses of a French meal. There's a runway show, we have puppetry in the show, and it all finishes with a giant confetti finish.
That is sure to leave you hungry for more. Bringing you the best of entertainment, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
Nothing says spring like a fresh new wardrobe. But with so many choices, how do you know what's hot and what's not?
We looked at U.S. sales data to really uncover the best, biggest, and most popular trends of the season. So I want to share a few of those with you now. The first one actually is transparent clothing. Now this can sound a little intimidating, but really the best way to do this is to take a sheer blouse and throw it on over a tank or a dress. And it actually is always wearable, beautiful, and feminine.
Bright colors are trendy for clothes and accessories this spring. And when it comes to handbags, going tiny is big news this year.
And it's all about the micro purse or the mini purse. Now sales for this bag increased 38% from 2016 to 2017.
Another thing that's getting smaller, the heels on ladies' shoes.
Another staple is the kitten heel. This is a great alternative to the high stiletto shoe. They're really comfortable and versatile. You can find brands from Steve Madden to these Kate Spade. So again, comfortable, versatile option.
Trendy sunglasses are a really fun way to finish your look without breaking the bank. Get more inspiration at ebay.com.
Celebrating a decade of style, this year's Fashion Week San Diego's annual Fall Runway show staged unique designer brands, inspiring us to stay in style in every season. Celebrating a decade of style, this year's Fashion Week San Diego annual fall runway show staged unique designer brands inspiring men and women to stay in style through all seasons.
San Diego is the perfect storm for an event like this. We're a border town, which is fantastic for manufacturing. We're a college town, which is great for innovation and entrepreneurship. We're a military town, so talk about great influences from all around the world.
As the show celebrated the past, present, and future, 21 emerging fashion artists from around the world with various backgrounds and styles presented the newest collections. One of them is from San Diego. Her pieces are feminine, classy, subtle, and tailored to modern women, those who do it all.
The woman that's on the go, the mom, she's a business owner, like she's everything all in one. So I keep her in mind.
And talking about the fast-paced lifestyle of the modern world, Nicole shared why social media is essential for promoting her brand to the fashion industry and the world.
It's really helped my brand because I have been contacted and I've been asked to participate in shows. So social media is very helpful. It gets your brand out there and people get to know you and get to know more about you.
On the runway, diverse models displayed from revolutionizing binary, non-gender specific clothing to urban, bold swimwear and elegant night dresses from Rocca brand by Carlos Ramirez, who gives us an insight of what he believes are the upcoming trends in the fashion industry.
I think it's going to be a lot of sheer, which has been going on for the last few months. A lot of florals. Florals and big gowns.
Thorough, unique, artistic expressions, Fashion Week San Diego did it again. It connected consumers and designers through their runway shows. And their annual dog fashion show introduced all kinds of dogs who rocked the runway in hopes of finding their forever homes. Next year, the organization hopes to merge their nonprofit sister organization, Fab Authority, with Fashion Week San Diego.
And make this event an annual gala and fundraiser to help the creatives in this community of San Diego. So I'm very excited about pursuing and having those discussions about how we can actually take it one step further. That's very exciting to me.
To stay on top of all fashion trends and find out about Fashion Week San Diego's future events, follow them on social media or visit their website, fashionweeksd.com. To stay on top of all fashion trends and find out about Fashion Week San Diego's future events, follow them on social media or visit their website. Coming up next, in honor of National Nutrition Month, find out how coconut is an essential staple in every home, a dairy-free creamer that is heart healthy, and why barley can be an impressive health benefit. Plus, approximately 10,000 people die from melanoma last year, and there seems to be a common thread for those most susceptible to the deadly skin cancer. All this and more when we come back. Sunny California is known for its great weather, but all that sunshine can have a negative effect on your skin. David Wiley takes a look at melanoma and some of the latest treatments for skin cancer.
The American Cancer Society estimates that more than 87,000 new cases of melanoma were diagnosed in the U.S. last year alone, and approximately 9,700 people died from the disease. Of the many types of skin cancer, melanoma is the most serious and has also become increasingly common, with the incidence rates growing by nearly 50% over the last 15 years.
Most melanomas, not all, but most of them are caused by exposure to UV radiation, meaning the sun, or tanning salons, for example, which can damage the skin, and that sets up the process of cancer in the melanocytes, which makes a melanoma. And as you saw, it's increasing in likelihood, it's increasing in incidence, and the number of deaths, thank goodness, has probably plateaued, but the incidence has gone up every year over the last 20 years.
And there seems to be a common thread for those most susceptible to melanoma.
Anyone who lives in a sunny climate has had a lot of sun exposure. Red hair, blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, a lot of freckles, a lot of abnormal freckles, family history of melanoma. Those are the people at greatest risk.
Dr. Louise Perkins is with the Melanoma Research Alliance, the largest nonprofit researcher of melanoma, and says melanoma patients need to ask questions when visiting their doctor.
Well, you should definitely ask them, what are the latest in treatments? Are there immunotherapies that would be right for me? What are the potential side effects of these therapies? What's your experience in using these therapies? And what are the goals of my treatment? We'd also recommend for any cancer patient that they obtain a second opinion.
There is some good news for melanoma patients. A new treatment option has been approved for use in people with melanoma whose cancer and affected lymph nodes have been surgically removed. The new therapy stems from an innovative area of research called immuno-oncology.
Immuno-oncology is sort of the science and study and treatment of patients with drugs that stimulate the immune system to kill the tumor. Those drugs don't directly kill the tumor cells, but what they do is they stimulate the immune system, which in the cancer-bearing state doesn't function normally. We call it exhausted. It's dysfunctional, and you can reinvigorate the immune system with this new class of drugs that have been developed over the last 15, 16 years to use the immune system itself to get rid of the tumor and prevent the tumor from returning after surgical removal.
To learn more about melanoma, visit the Melanoma Research Alliance at melanomacure.org. And to find out more about the latest advancement in treatment, talk to your doctor and visit opdivo.com. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
In honor of National Nutrition Month, see how coconut is an essential staple in every home, why barley can be an impressive health benefit, and something that I need, a dairy-free creamer that is heart healthy. Here's nutrition expert Tara Collingwood.
Thanks for having me. If you want more energy and healthier looking skin, it all starts with being hydrated. Most of us don't get enough water each day, mainly because it's boring. That's why an awesome healthy alternative is Vita Coco coconut water. It's sold everywhere, so there's no excuse not to pick it up. Coconut water is delicious and refreshing, and it's a great way to replenish those lost electrolytes. It's rich in potassium, which more than half of Americans don't get enough of. I personally like Vita Coco because it's natural and minimally processed, and by the way, is also a celebrity and pro athlete favorite. Also, Vita Coco makes an organic, cold-pressed, unrefined coconut oil that's great for cooking or for personal care, like for your hair and your skin. Unrefined oil means less processing and no chemicals. So here's another way to make that boring beverage taste fabulous in the morning. Now there's a great tasting creamer called Nut Pods. Nut Pods are plant-based and dairy-free, and they're made from heart-healthy almonds and coconuts. They come in 3 flavors: original, French vanilla, and hazelnut. And here's what I love. Unlike other creamers, there's no high fructose corn syrup or refined sugars. Nut Pods dairy-free creamers are actually the official creamer of the Whole30 diet program. And finally, the perfect snack to keep your gut health on track this month is Barley Plus. Studies show that adding 1 serving of cereal and 1 bar to your daily diet can actually support weight loss. The secret here is Barley Max, an Australian super grain that contains prebiotic dietary fiber to feed that good bacteria in your gut, giving you the health benefits of fiber and keep you feeling full for longer. So Barley Plus muesli cereals and bars have plenty of flavors to choose from, so they're sure to please every palate. So for more info on all these products and nutrition tips, you can go to my website, dietdiva.net.
And coming up, get this, 1 in 7 people have ended a relationship over money. See how to avoid this mistake when we continue with California Life. Don't go away. Money and relationships tend to be a hot topic this time of year. If you and a loved one don't see eye to eye on how to manage your money, it can put undue stress on the relationship. Lauren Hudson shares advice for managing love and money.
Get this, 1 in 7 people have ended a relationship over money.
We find that when you're arguing over money, it's really a disagreement over what you value.
Before your relationship hits a snag due to poor money management, SunTrust Bank's financial expert Brian Nelson Ford says consider these tips to become more financially confident.
Find a common financial goal. Find something that you both want to work towards. That might be getting into a new home. That might be having a baby or having a comfortable retirement. Once you get on the same page with that goal, then really these little spending things go away and you're on the same page, working towards that same future.
When it comes to bank accounts, having your own may not be such a bad idea.
The research shows that about 57% of couples, they have at least one separate account, and 27% say the reason they do that is to avoid fights over money.
For more tips on gaining your financial confidence, check out onup.com.
Many of us remember when ABC News reporter Bob Woodruff was seriously injured while covering our military in a war zone. While Bob has managed an incredible recovery, he and his wife Lee are using their experiences to bring attention to the plight of our injured military veterans. David Wiley has more.
It was 2006, and ABC News reporter Bob Woodruff was covering the war in Iraq when he and his cameraman were seriously injured by a roadside bomb. Bob suffered a severe head injury, and his wife Lee remembers receiving that horrible news.
So we got that phone call, and life changed in an instant, as it does for so many. Bob was in a coma for 5 weeks with his brain injury. He was hit. And in those moments in the hospital, we really understood what it meant to be a military family, even though we were not. And while everything was equal in the acute care stage, we were very aware of how young these families were, how few resources they had.
And while Bob's injuries were severe, he was miraculously able to return to ABC News 13 months after he was hurt. But his life-changing experience led him and his wife to start the Bob Woodruff Foundation to help injured veterans.
We began the Bob Woodruff Foundation 10 years ago in the hopes that we could take some of the attention that our story had generated and turn it back on the veterans and their families who really needed it. And the current issue that we are here and passionate about today is helping those veterans who've been injured in the war have families, because their injuries are not allowing them to have children.
But many injured veterans are unable to have children without help. But the Veterans Administration at this time won't cover in vitro fertilization services for wounded vets.
There are only 3,000 of them around the country, but they're so deserving. Unfortunately, our Veterans Administration isn't allowed by Congress to date to provide such care.
Honestly, to me, it's not a political issue. We offer in vitro fertilization to our active duty service members who are in the military right now. But if you've been deployed, been injured, and can no longer have a family, we don't offer it to you when you come back. That makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
And while legislation to change these rules at the VA is making its way through Congress, that can take a long time. So an initiative called Heart for Heroes has joined forces with the Bob Woodruff Foundation in a public-private partnership to give these wounded warriors an opportunity to start a family.
We've partnered medically with the Bob Woodruff Foundation. Medical practices around the country have donated deeply discounted services, and programs like Ferring Pharmaceuticals' Heart for Heroes program have provided medications. We look at this as a temporary fix, an interim solution. We need a permanent fix by our government.
But until that happens, there is help through this partnership and the Heart for Heroes initiative. To learn more about this issue, go to the National Infertility Association website at resolve.org or the American Society of Reproductive Medicine at asrm.org. And as always, consult with your own personal physician. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
Fake news is now a real college class at the University of Michigan. Jason Rasidlo asked students about a fake story where someone posted that a shark was found in the Great Lakes. Not possible.
Fake news. President Trump first started using those two words during his campaign. Now we hear it over and over again on cable news.
I'm not going to give you a question. Can you state categorically? You are fake news. Sir, go ahead. Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not appropriate.
I visited the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor to gauge student opinions about the concept of fake news.
I think it's definitely real. I think it's definitely out there. I'm not quite sure how to differentiate between the two yet, because it just seems like media has been really bad lately at giving you the straight-up truth. So I definitely think fake news is a way to draw people in and to get hits. You know, it's about consumerism, and I think a lot of people are trying to make a living off of what they're doing in journalism.
First, I showed students a recent article that went viral about a man who found a great white shark in the Great Lakes. That's an obvious example of fake news. this spring, the university offered a free online course called Fake News, Facts, and Alternative Facts. The class has since ended, but you can still view all of the course materials online at edx.org.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, go to our website, californialifehd.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.